How's it going, everyone? It's Ravlar here, and welcome to the very first of hopefully many top 10 countdowns on this channel. So, today we're going to be counting down the top 10 best unlocks for Ironman. So let's just clarify what we mean on this. Of course, Ironman can't trade or use the GE. With this is a challenge, and of course this challenge is probably why many people, including myself, actually create the Ironman. It's a different outlook on the game, and it's very, very satisfying whenever you achieve something because you know that you've done it all by yourself. However, with that being said, certain aspects of Ironman life are quite frustrating. But there are some certain achievements, or unlocks if you may, that make your life a lot easier and more enjoyable. So with the help of my wonderful clanmates, I've managed to compile a top 10 list which I think is personally very, very useful for all Ironmen to strive towards and unlock eventually. So with that being said, sit back, relax, and let the countdown begin. Coming in at number 10, we have the magnificent combination of the Split Dragon Tooth necklace, which costs 17,000 Dungeoneering tokens, and the Bone Crusher, which costs 34,000 Dungeoneering tokens. Now this combination is very useful both early game and late game for Ironmen. So early game you have these Slayer tasks such as Hellhounds and Fire Giants, and we know without that amazing armor, they actually take up quite a bit of food and prayer pots. However, with a combination of these both, every time you kill a monster which drops bones, you get 5 prayer points, and every time you kill a monster which drops big bones, you get 10 prayer points. So you can have Protect from melee on and stat boosting prayers on indefinitely, and this is a huge godsend because it just saves on the scarce resources early game. Later game, however, this combination is probably equally as useful because you can use this combination at God Wars Dungeon 1 bosses such as Bandos and Kriara, and a combination of these means that you get Prayer Restore indefinitely, which allows you to stay there for ridiculously long periods of time. So Ironmen who haven't got this combination, go and get it. This is a godsend. You'll save so much resources, and this is a very, very, very well deserved number 10 spot on this list. Coming in at number 9, we have the famous Temple Trekking minigame. So in order to actually partake in the Temple Trekking minigame, you need to have completed the In Aid of the Miret quest, and I also highly recommend you complete the Darkness of Hallowell. So this way you can complete the trek from both sides, which is far more efficient than just doing it on one. So why would you actually want to do Temple Trekking? Well, the rewards are pretty epic for lower level Ironmen. So first of all, you get the silver bars. So silver bars, you can stack up around a few K of these each hour, and it equates to around 60k crafting XP, which is really, really good for lower levels because the only other alternative to actually train crafting is through Dungeoneering crafting, which can get a bit annoying. Secondly is the watermelon seeds. Now the watermelon seeds for lower level Ironmen are really, really useful because there are no other real alternatives to train farming at lower levels. And with watermelon seeds and a combination of bonus XP from Cabbage Face and Bonanza, you can race through to like level 75 farming in no time whatsoever. Finally, for the higher levels, you can actually use the shark rewards. You can collect around 700 to 800 shark an hour, and this is particularly useful if you have low fishing. The other main reason why you may want to do Temple Trekking as an Ironman is because you get access to 2 sets of skilling outfits. Firstly, the Lumberjack outfit, which gives you up to 6% bonus XP in woodcutting, is quite RNG based and gathered through the Undead Lumberjack part of Temple Trekking. Secondly, you can collect the Constructor's outfit, which in total gives you up to 6% a bonus XP in construction, which is very, very useful, not very hard to obtain. And because construction is such an annoying skill to train on an Ironman, it's definitely worth getting for all Ironmen. Overall, Temple Trekking has a bunch of rewards which are great for Ironmen and is very much justified at number 9 on this list. Coming in at number 8, we have Managing Your Kingdom, which is of course done through completing the quest, the Throne of Miscellanea, and then additional resources are available after completing Royal Trouble, which is highly recommended. So why is Miscellanea so good for Ironmen? The beauty of Miscellanea is the fact that you need absolutely minimal input to actually keep it going. You can come here once a week, top up your coffers with money, do a bit of DIY around the place, and you will actually get enough approval and you have enough cash to keep it going without doing really anything. And what's so good about Miscellanea is the raw resources that we get as Ironmen. Firstly, you get wood, which you can get in exchange for thousands and thousands of maple logs each day, and of course tree nests, which give you tree seeds, which are very useful, especially at low level, because you don't really have any methods to train farming. So very, very useful for that. And then you can put it on mining, which will give you coal, which is very, very useful for training smithing and artisan's workshop, because pre-God Wars Dungeon 2, getting coal is a bit of a bitch, and this really solves that problem. At higher levels, what I'm currently doing is putting all of my resources into herb, and I'm getting a bunch of low-level herbs, which really, really help in making super sets. And alternatively, you can put your resources on hardwood, and you can collect logs for construction, which is useful if you want to train that. And the other alternative, which is pretty useful, is putting it on fishing. And this is good if you have a low cooking level and you want to get raw fish, or you just want to get some nice cooked fish without bothering to do that for Slayer. You get a bunch of tuna, which is pretty useless, but you get swordfish, which is very nice. Overall, Kingdom is a great mini game, and absolutely every Iron Man should be engaging in it and should be unlocked as soon as possible. Coming in at number 7, we have the famous Jack of Trades aura. Now this aura is absolutely epic, as I'm sure you're all aware. So it costs 15,000 membership loyalty points for the base version. The base version requires you to collect XP in 10 different skills, which can be done in a matter of seconds. This goes up to 15 and 20 for the superior versions of the aura, which actually grant you more XP. So what the aura does is after you have gathered XP in the respective amount of skills, you get a nice little XP book from Juan at Berthorpe or Prayerthorpe, the Max Guild. And what this does is you can just put it in any skill you want, and at lower levels most people put it on Herbal because it's quite tough to train at that level. However, the negative side of this aura is that it actually requires you to play for around 3 months before you can buy it legitimately with loyalty points. The alternative is to buy the gold or silver pay-to-win membership packages, which I highly recommend, by the way, because they give you a fat stack of loyalty points which you can spend on this and other useful auras. So overall, this is absolutely amazing, and you can put it on any skill that you don't want to do and just train it passively. And if you double it with Whizbacks, you can race through those levels really, really nicely, especially at lower levels. So this is a absolute must-have aura. Only negative side is you have to kind of wait some time for it, or spend some money on the premiership packages. But like I said, this is a must-have and should be the first aura that every Iron Man purchases. Coming in at number 6, you all knew it was coming. The meme itself, player-owned ports. So once you hit a 90 skill in Herblore, Prayer, Slayer, Construction, Hunter, and numerous others, you unlock ports, where you can send off daily missions to unlock some really, really nice gear. Now please forgive me, because I haven't actually done much ports on my Iron Man, so I thought I'd show you some of the nicer gear on my main. So this is only a one-off, so calm down with the flaming in the comments. This will just be a one-off. So you can unlock some really, really nice tank gear, which is really, really good, especially at lower levels, because you haven't unlocked Sirenic, for example, and this allows you to take on Araxor and other high-level bosses quite effectively. The other really, really good thing about ports is that you can unlock Scrimshaws. Now these Scrimshaws, such as the Scrimshaw of Vampirism, will heal you a lot and save you a lot of food when you're fighting bosses like Araxor. The Scrimshaw of Elements will increase your DPS by around 4 or 5% on all magic, and the Scrimshaw of Cruelty will do the same for range, and the Scrimshaw of Ranging will increase your accuracy for range. Now these are all really, really awesome for Iron Man, and on Mainscape you can buy the inferior ones, but on Iron Man you can't, obviously. So it's really, really important that you do ports, unlike me, on a regular basis, and unlock all of these armors. They're free, and they open up a lot of content, and they make PVMing so much easier, give you that edge with your DPS, and like, look, Tetsu looks absolutely cool, man. Look at that in the max shape. I need to get that on my Ironman. So I'm really motivated to do ports on a regular basis on an Ironman. Oh, also you can get tier 85 weapons, but they're not really useful, seeing as you can just unlock stuff from God Wars Dungeon 2. But overall, ports is an absolute must for all Ironmen. I'm just really stupid and haven't done it regularly. But yeah. Coming in at number 5 is the magnificent Pack Yak pouch, unlocked at 96 summoning. Now, upgrading from a War Tortoise to a Pack Yak is the best feeling I've had on this game. It was huge. Now, the War Tortoise isn't a bad familiar by any means. It holds around 18 spaces and lasts around 40 minutes. So not bad, definitely not bad. But the Yak has 30 spaces, and you can use the special move to bank stuff wherever you are in game, which is absolutely amazing. But that's not the main reason why the Yak is so good. The Yak is so good because when you're collecting those damn tortoise shells, you're going to go crazy. To kill those silly warped tortoises to get that secondary ingredient, it's so sad. I have bad memories of spending around an hour there and getting 40 shells and just going crazy. However, when that magical moment hits, when you get that 96 summoning, it all changes. You can go to Jiu-Jitsu straight away and stack up on around 1,000 Yak hides in a matter of minutes, and that's why unlocking the Yak is so high on this list. Trust me, Ironman Yak, you need it. Just go get it. Just go grind out that summoning. It'll be worth it in the end. And that's why it's number 5 on this list. Coming in at number 4 is Invention. Now, I know that Invention is a bit of a Marmite skill. You either love it or you hate it. But there is absolutely no denying that Invention has made PVM a hell of a lot easier, and it's made skilling a lot faster. Now, just take into consideration the Enhanced Devoted perk. Now, that on its own will reduce the incoming DPS by around 20%, which is just huge. And skilling wise, just consider the Honed perk. Now, Honed 5 will actually increase the rate of you gather resources by 10%, which is like getting a supreme aura in that skill, which is absolutely insane. Now, for example, when I fish, I find this so useful because I want to gather as many sharks per hour as possible. As an Ironman, I can't just buy it. Now, in the shop below, we have me fighting a Raxor. I'm using the Planted Feet perk here, and it's increased the duration of my death swiftness by 25%. In this shop, I show how the Enhanced Devoted perk works, and by mitigating that damage, I've reduced around 2 or 3k incoming damage there. So overall, Invention perks have made PVM so much nicer and so much more smooth. So I'm going to be really cheeky here, and I'm going to pair up 95 Divination with Invention on this list, and that is because they go hand in hand. So for those of you who don't know, who have not worked it out yet, Ironmen have to collect energies for Invention themselves. Yep, that's right, you heard me correct. And this is quite frustrating at times, but there are things you can do to make it a lot easier. And one of them, of course, is to get 95 Divination, because at this level you can use incandescent energies, which only require 225 energies per divine charge pack made. However, if you're struggling at 80 Divination, then you're going to have a hard time, buddy, because you're going to require 500 of energies that tier to make a divine charge pack. So overall, you can literally save 2 to 3 times the amount of time by getting those divine charge packs. So what does this mean? This means you need to do your caches since day one. You don't miss a single one until you hit 95 Divination, because trust me, you're just shooting yourself in the foot otherwise. At 95, Divination, I would say, is manageable, and it's not bad, and you can get a large amount of charges for Invention quite easily. And coming in at number 3, we have the fantastic, the marvelous Prif Dinas, aka Elf City. Now, Elf City is one of the biggest achievements for any Ironman. For any account, to be honest, but in particular for Ironman. So let's go through why that is. Firstly, you have an absolutely amazing AFK method of training prayer. At the Heifer Monastery, you can just come here, buy a cleansing crystal, or however many you want, just click and AFK. Why this is so amazing for Ironman is because you don't have to kill them bloody dragons for them bones to use an altar. You can just buy it all here at a reasonable price. Another amazing reason to unlock Elf City for Ironman is the harps in the Ithor region. Now these harps provide a completely resource-free and AFK way to train crafting. As I mentioned earlier, training crafting on an Ironman is particularly challenging because you can't buy dragon hides, etc. As soon as you unlock Elf City, you don't even need to worry about temple trekking or dungeoneering crafting anymore. You can just sit here and AFK. And when I mean AFK like you can go take a shit if you want, you can go eat food, blah blah blah, and you will come back and you'll still be playing the harps. Now on top of that, you get around 60k an hour and you get harmonic dust. The harmonic dust is really useful, especially the first 8,000, because you can use 4,000 harmonic dust on a dragon pickaxe or a dragon hatchet to transform it to a crystal pickaxe or a crystal hatchet. Now what this will do is it will make your tools much stronger and gather resources 15% quicker. So overall, this is an absolutely amazing hassle-free way to get 99 crafting in the long run. You sit here and AFK, do your work or whatever, and really nice unlock from Elf City. Thirdly, there's the Amulet Hour. So during Amulet Hour, you can get 20% extra bonus summoning XP. Now this is amazing for all accounts, but why is it so good for Ironman? Because gathering secondary ingredients at lower levels is a bitch, like we talked about earlier. So this 20% extra XP will get you closer to a yak way earlier, and is a massive bonus which everyone should take advantage of. Finally, I just want to say there's so many things in Elf City, like Elf City thieving, which I could have covered. And in fact, I could have probably made a second video on saying why Elf City is just so good for Ironman in general. But I've just kept it to the most basic ones which you get unlocked straight away. So, Elf City, a worthy number 3 on the list. Coming in at number 2, we have the mythical, the magical, the legendary Garajo Hordestalker dungeon. Why is this dungeon so great? Well, there's several benefits, but there is a cost. In order to get here, you need to grind out 95 dungeoneering, and because you can only solo dungeon on an Ironman, that is hell. It's a horrible grind, but man, the grind is worth it because the rewards are so good. So if you use this dungeon to fish shark every day, and you use your Desert Pantheon aura to extend your divine location limit by 100%, as an Ironman, you can collect around 280 shark in a matter of minutes every single day, which is absolutely huge. It will save you so much time on fishing, and it's absolutely amazing. On top of that, you can use the Garajo Hordestalker to collect daily dungeoneering cards, and over time you'll stack up with enough yak cards to unlock all the melee potion recipes, including the Perfect Plus potion. Just look how popular it is. This pace is popping at reset, let me tell you that. However, if you're hellbent on not actually getting shark from here, you can actually get other really useful locations. For example, if you're low on toadstools, you can use our Divine Herb location 3 to just stock up. And every day, these resources really add up and just save you a lot of time in general. And this is one of my favorite places in the game. Horrible grind to get here, but so worth it. If you're thinking about getting 95 dungeoneering, don't. It's worth it. It will take you a long time, but the rewards are so good. So at a very worthy number 2 on the list, we have the Garajo Hordestalker dungeon. Now, I know that you guys have been waiting for this moment for a very long time, but the time has come. The number 1 most useful unlock for all Ironmen in the world, according to Ravlar, is the Sunspear. This beautiful tier 78 weapon is obtained from doing the River of Blood quest, and upon first glance, the River of Blood quest is very challenging in terms of the stats it requires, such as 81 construction, 76 woodcutting, etc. However, the reward is so worth it. What's so good about the Sunspear is that you can switch it between melee, mage and range whenever you want at no cost whatsoever. And it completely changes the game when it comes to invention. because you can augment it, get it to level 10, disassemble it, and then just go get another one for 600k. That is it. And tier 78 weapon, I mean, you may think, oh, tier 78, not as good as tier 80, but if we compare it here with the Royal Crossbow, as you can see here, just keep an eye on those numbers. It's literally a couple of hundred less on damage and accuracy, meaning that if you were to use it at bossing, say for example God Wars Dungeon 1, you probably wouldn't be able to notice the difference. The Sunspear is so good. It's definitely my favorite unlock in the game, and it just changes everything, because before this you had to buy chaotic weapons, and unlocking them was a pain. You need 200,000 Dungeoneering tokens, and then on top of that you need 2 mil to repair them. This baby, all you need to do, just pay 600k, you can get a new one. Absolutely no worries with the invention. Absolute game changer. Beautiful weapon. And as you can see in the background, I'm just fighting some bandos. Can't really notice the difference between this and the tier 80 staff. Gets it down really quickly. Great invention XP. Just no worries whatsoever. Wonderful, wonderful weapon. With that being said, those are all fantastic benefits of this weapon. But there's another one. There's one which makes it the best. This is why it's the best unlock, and not number 2 and not number 3. So, alongside being a highly versatile and powerful weapon, the Sunspear has the added benefit of being able to cremate via corpses when you kill them. So this weapon, every time you kill a Vile Lord, you get prayer XP, and you also get enhanced loot from the cremation drop table. This is incredible for Ironman. I personally camped here from 80 to 95 prayer, and in the process I managed to get myself the Herblore level to make prayer overloads and stack up on thousands of prayer potions and thousands of super restores. So what can you expect when you actually kill these? You can expect a minimum around 300k combat XP an hour, around 40k farming XP an hour if you have a Cedar side, and of course around 150k prayer XP an hour, and this is increased even further if you have the Mortania hard task, which I do not. On top of that, you get around 1 million ounce an hour, which is insane, and you get loads and loads of nice herblore supplies such as red spider's eggs, snake grass, limpet roots, etc. Overall, this is an exceptionally overpowered weapon, and I really hope it stays that way because it just makes Ironman life that bit easier. You never ever need to worry about stocking up on prayer pots or super restores because you can just come here and just stash up on them. You could easily get a combination of around 100 prayer pots and super restores now, which is huge, and some very nice herb seeds as well. So overall, this is why I think the Sunspear is the #1 unlock for Ironman. So before I sign off, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed the content, please do me the favor and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment. Tell me what you think should be in the top 10, because I know it's a highly subjective thing, and this is just my opinion. There were, of course, hundreds of things which could have gone on there, but I chose these because these are personally my favorite. Well, with that being said, thank you so much for watching once again, and be sure to check in next week for another top 10. And that's it for me, guys. Take it easy.